Good evening, everyone, and thanks so much for joining us. A drop in student enrollment is costing 152 teachers in Gilbert their jobs.
The Gilbert Public Schools Governing Board making the cuts official last night. However, there are now concerns over how exactly the board decided who would be losing their job.
Team 12's Colleen Sikora is following this story for us in Gilbert. Colleen.
The district used a rubric to grade their teachers, but a Valley attorney says some of the criteria used that would label a teacher ineffective and lead to them being laid off could be violating teachers' rights. A year after the pandemic hit Arizona, its effects costing teachers their jobs.
The loss of student enrollment and the uncertainty of student enrollment for the next year has led us to this difficult decision.
Gilbert Public Schools down 1,600 students year over year, now laying off 152 of its educators. In deciding who would be laid off as part of a reduction in force, the district having principals score teachers off of a rubric from highly effective to ineffective.
The rubric didn't seem to take into account a worldwide pandemic.
The points would eventually determine who would lose their jobs.
I am going to ask you for my rubric to find out where I fell short this year as an educator.
One piece of the rubric would label a teacher ineffective if a teacher, quote, discusses district school decisions concerns publicly.
When I see their criteria for how they determine who is effective and who is ineffective, it causes me deep-seated concerns.
Valley Attorney Tom Ryan says the rubric could violate teachers' rights.
It's a gross violation of teachers' First Amendment rights that they cannot publicly discuss the decisions made by the school board or the concerns that they have about what the school board is doing.
Adding the rubric as a whole is broad.
Anybody could fit into this if they want them to. It really is a horribly designed standard and very unfair to the teachers.
We did ask Gilbert Public Schools about this piece of the rubric and why it was included. A district spokesperson tells us it relates to staff conduct policies. We're in Gilbert. Colleen Sikora, 12 News.
Colleen,